Good evening and welcome, everyone. Thank you for your presence. We are really happy that you are here attending this session, Monday Night Live. And today we have a very interesting topic on headaches. Many times individuals have pain in the head, and that is not good. It's not a happy feeling. And though it's in the head, it tends to make you feel down for your entire day or days. And so we're going to explore different types of headaches and what you can do in order to relieve those headaches. All right. So as we get ready to begin, let us start with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this moment, and we ask for your guidance and leading in our discussion. Make everything simple for us to understand and apply. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. Our topic of discussion, headaches, and we are looking at natural solutions for headaches. And I'm talking to you from Pure Wellness Lifestyle Center located in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a residential program that we conduct here at our center. Here is a place where individuals can come and have natural remedies applied to them for a duration of time, be it 11 days or 18 days. And looking at nutritional therapy, hydrotherapy, and other types of counseling and other types of workup on the body, and a no stress environment, restful, peaceful atmosphere. When all of that is combined together and shared with individuals, a place where you feel so connected and closer to God for the spiritual connection that is shared with you. You find that the body responds, and there is so much positive to gain from it, and healing process can begin. So once individuals leave, they're able to go home and continue that which they've started here, given a tailored protocol to follow, and that makes a great difference in their lives. So contact us and let us know how we can better serve you in this capacity. Our topic, we're looking at headaches. We're looking at symptoms, causes, true health principles, natural remedies, hydrotherapy. All of these are going to be covered this evening. So what is a headache? And when we think about, oh, it's a pain in the head, but you notice it shows up in different parts of the head. And so it's a pain in any region of the head, or to the face or to the back of the neck, due to activation of pain-sensitive structures. So it's you have primary headaches, such as migraine, tension type, cluster, vascular headaches, and you have secondary type of headaches, which may be due to some condition that is existing in the body, and then your head hurts because it's pressing on some nerve, some area in the body. For example, an infection that's going on in the body, and or a trauma hit to the head. Your head will hurt. A high blood pressure situation, folks would feel that tension to the back of their head, down in the brainstem area, or sometimes other parts of the head can be impacted. Sometimes you may have a severe pain to the head, and that's one of the red flags that would cause you to go to the emergency room, a pain that you have never felt before. There's something, maybe it's a blood clot, maybe it's some constriction of a blood vessel to the brain, and it's paining you. There might be a tumor growing in the brain somewhere, and that's triggering pain. And sometimes maybe medication or even a strong supplement that might be a multivitamin may cause you to have a headache. I know that there are some supplements that are so potent that I cannot take the full dose, or I will get a headache to the back of my brain stem right there. It's going to feel a dull headache coming, just creeping up. So so those are secondary causes. And what we want to share with you today are certain tips to help you to think a little bit. If you are getting headaches regularly, how could you actually manage preventing that or reducing the frequency of it, or even eliminating certain practices or intakes in the body to not get the headaches. So headaches exist for individuals everywhere around the world. And on any given day, 1 in 6 people has a headache. And that's quite painful. Do you remember the last time that you had a headache? If you did, if you do, just put in the chat and let us know. Do you remember the last time you had a headache? And better yet, was it within the last week? Did you have a headache within the last week? Just put in the chat, yes or no. Yeah, someone had last week. Okay. And so migraines can be another cause. Wow, only yesterday, Friday, and still at this moment. Wow, I hope you can find some relief from something that is mentioned here. So the types, and we look at migraine, we would also look at tension type of headaches. And millions of dollars is spent every year on medication for headaches. One common might be the Panadol that you might quickly run for, but you spend, right? So the monies add up over time. Okay, so let's take a look at the types of headaches. You've got migraine, and that is, okay, so here you have migraine. It's moderate to severe, often a throbbing headache pain that worsens by the activity that you do. You could feel a sense of nausea or a sensitivity to light and sound can trigger this migraine. And there's another type called a tension type headache. It's like a band that strikes up across your forehead. Sometimes it just feels like a shooting pain and it just escalates like a mushroom. It's mild to moderate. It's not aggravated by activity. It's just constant. You may do other things, but it's not increased by your movement. Then you got cluster headaches, which is sort of sharp, heavy, severe type of headache on one side, and that you feel this pain. You feel it like it's needling and tearing in. Nasal symptoms might come with it, or restlessness. You know, headaches could be so intense that it might prevent you from sleeping or wake you up if you were sleeping. Medication overuse, headache on 15 or more days per month with regular overuse of acute medication. It can be a side effect of certain medication. And if you recognize that, then speak to your healthcare provider to make a change for you. Now let's take a look at migraine. And migraine is like so intense. You know, I look at, there's a website where you can see an entire website on migraine. I got this from a video, but there's a site I'll share with you later at the end. So we are looking at phases of migraine. So you have the prodrome, aura, headache, and the postdrome. And if you see here, in terms of severity, it's high severity, going up, 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 and holding out here, and then it goes down. When you're getting a migraine, you have this postdrome. It might start hours or days before, where you just don't feel great, fatigue, restlessness. And if you know you're accustomed getting migraines, you would recognize those symptoms for you. And then, like about 5 minutes before or an hour before it hits, and it starts to escalate, the pain starts to escalate, and then you feel sort of nauseous. You don't feel good. You start seeing like flashes of light in the space in front of you, blurred vision. That's an aura that is indicating that a head pain is coming. And so your migraine sets in, and it could last anywhere from 4 hours to 72 hours, so a few days. And then it subsides and it goes down. And when that happens, you feel really tired, like a hangover. So it's a process. It happens in phases. But for some people, they could be getting migraines every day, 2 days, and for a couple days in every week of the month. And so they have it quite intense. We have also the tension type headaches, where it's now constriction. So even with migraine, there's a constriction of the blood vessels in the brain. With tension types, you find that the blood vessels in the brain, it's tense. Even to your scalp, your neck, your head itself, it's tense. And there might be a bilateral, both sides of the head might be feeling like it's pressing in, tightening in. You're getting a pulsating kind of effect. It might be mild to moderate intensity, not worsened by activity. And no nausea would come with the tension type headache, but you may have sensitivity to light or sound. You may. And so this can come about due to stress. I remember a couple years ago that I got what I thought to be a tension headache. I had a traumatic experience, something that really upset me. And so with that, every time I thought about the the situation, I would get a, a big headache, a massive headache, and it would last and linger and go away, and I'll be fine. But when I think about that situation again, I will get this headache. And I said to myself, I cannot let the situation hurt me in this way. I need to let it go. And that's what I did. I let go of my involvement in the situation, moved away from the environment and the people and everything associated for that, in order to find calm and peace, and to be relieved from those tension headaches that would come. And so that might be one of the things that you would need to look at. What are your triggers for your headaches? And see how you can make adjustments in order to stop it from happening. So stress is a major factor when it comes to these tension type headaches and even migraines as well. And heat, dehydration. You're not drinking sufficient water and the whole system is dehydrated, and that can be your trigger. Then certain foods or excess mental concentration can be the cause for tension headaches. Then what about cluster headaches? You have severe unilateral orbital or temporal pain, so to the back of the head, to the front of the head, on the sides, you have some, maybe just one area. And then you have symptoms such as your eyes become watery, red nasal congestion, and attacks in clusters over weeks and with remission periods. So there are certain times when you just have headaches frequently, and then other times nothing, and then it can come again. So that's cluster headaches. And you got vascular headaches, and that's caused now different. Instead of blood vessels being constricted in the brain or contracted, you have blood vessels that are dilated. So it just opened up to the head. You also have an acidic body, a toxic body that can lead to these vascular types of headaches. But most times, congestion of blood to the head. Sometimes if you tie your head with a head wrap, a cloth, it might be tight, it might be pressing on your head, and soon enough you get a headache. Depending on the material of the fabric, it might keep your head too hot. And with the excessive heat to the head can draw blood to that head. And then before you have too much blood in the brain, and that's bring congestion of the blood there, and that can cause a headache. So what you see a result from this when you eat cold. Hello, ring a bell. Ta-ding. Pay attention. When you eat cold food or drink cold drinks, like ice cream and cold juice with ice, you put that juice out and you put ice cubes in it. You put water and you put ice cubes in that water, and ice water from the refrigerator, and you come and you drink it. Cold can trigger this headache. Think about it. If you put something cold into your head through your mouth, then you sense it, your brain sense it, and you have this cold, and you have to get a lot of blood to warm up that cold, okay? So it's also a sensitivity. So that's why leave the cold items. You should avoid the drinking and eating of cold items. Drinking alcohol can cause this vascular, just opening up the blood vessels again in the brain. And even sweets, consuming sweet things, sugar, and just think about all the sugary foods, snacks, desserts, delicacies, of sugary items that you might be consuming, sugary drinks, so sugar, consuming sweet things can also cause this kind of headache. So as you start hearing and possibly associating here, you're going to get the recording again to go through, but be jotting down some notes for you to start paying attention. What if? And maybe that might be your cause and trigger. Let's look at some common causes here. Psychological factors, emotional tension, stress. Or do you have a stressful job? Is it demanding? And just driving on the nation's roads could be stressful. You can have stress in your home or around your home, your community, or in your home. That's so close. And so whatever you might be stressing you, anxiety or over relaxation, just there doing nothing. The body is meant for activity. So those depression can be another factor as well. So hormonal factors. During ovulation, ladies, after your menstrual cycle, the week afterward, ovulation takes place. That's a time where you could become pregnant, and the egg is released, and you could, so that might trigger headache because of the hormonal imbalance that's going on. Just before menstruation comes, you may get a headache. Or even for senior ladies, as you get into menopause, the years before perimenopause and menstruation, perimenstruation and post-menstruation could be time frames where you could get headaches. So during perimenopause and post-menopause, okay, that's what I want to say. Not sure, right, what I'm saying. So if I did say it incorrectly. So perimenopause and post-menopause can be times when you can get that headache. So again, hormonal imbalances, and we need to address that. So what about taking contraceptive pills? After you've taken it, you might get a headache. So anytime you're driving those hormones to extremes can be problematic. Nutritional factors during a fast. Yeah, that happens. So fasting from food. Some individuals, if they take too long to eat their meal, they may get a headache. One, they may be dehydrated, but maybe not. And then just not getting that food, that nutrition can trigger their headache. So they would need to eat on time and they may not be able to fast. Substances in food, such as nitrates, that gives the processed food that red color and used as a preservative. Glutamate, MSG, in numerous foods. That's why you may purchase food, not your own home cooked food. You may purchase food from a street vendor, a food shop, and get a headache. I had a colleague who would have eaten food that she would purchase at different types of food outlets. And from the moment she ate the food and she started to get these known symptoms, she just knew it had MSG in there, and she would stop buying from that particular vendor and look for somewhere else. So that can trigger even migraines, okay, food, and with the MSG. And then you got tyramine. Tyramine is a compound found in aged, old, overripe, fermented foods. You can also get it in chocolate, aged cheese, dried fruits, and alcohol. Overripe fruits, you can get tyramine compound. High sugar intake. Here, again, we mentioned earlier about consuming sweets. And then gluten sensitivity. If you eat flour, any item made from flour, bread, bake, roti, pies, or even pasta. Even if it is pasta that's made from flour, and that might be a trigger cause for you, made from wheat flour. Sometimes you would see different types of pasta, such as rice pasta. And I've tried rice pasta with individuals who may have had gluten sensitivity, and I saw where they still got some issues. So just be cautious, test and look and see. Then we got environmental changes such as the weather, when it's getting rainy, overcast, that might be a trigger for you. And altitudes, going up on heights, maybe up on a mountaintop, particular odors, perfumes might be a trigger for your headaches. Strong smells. You're walking to a space, there's a strong smell. It might be food, okay? Or it might be some cleaning agent. It might be fumes from vehicles. These smells might trigger. Exposure to sunlight. Most times individuals are vitamin D deficient, and so they may be sun sensitive, and that could be a trigger for them. So what you need to do is to supplement, bring them up, and then they would be more tolerant again. Or noise can be an environmental trigger. What about lifestyle, such as lack of sleep insomnia, late nights, just gives you a headache the following day, or excess sleep. Have you ever tried that? Sleeping too much and then you wake up and your body hurts you, maybe your head hurts you too. And then your neck and muscle might be tense because of too much stress going on. Sometimes you go to massage somebody and their shoulders are so tight. You know that they're under a lot of stress. Poor posture. Or what about eye strain? Squinching the eye, trying to focus on something small, that can cause you to get a headache. I know of another one that's environmental too. So number one, wearing shades. Okay, so when you wear shades, that can cause, so you go step outdoors in light, sunlight, or just the light from the atmosphere, and you have our shades on, our darkers on. And what that would do, it will cause your eye not to see the bright light. And so your pupils will be dilated, they would be open. If you were to remove that shades and you're out in that sunlight and you remove the shades too quickly, or you're so accustomed that your eye strength and muscles of the eyes isn't quick with its reflex, you can remove that shades and your eye pupils remain dilated for a few split seconds. That can cause that light to get into the back of the eye so forcefully that it could give you a headache. All right. So that's one of the reasons why try not to get too accustomed to wearing shades, because your eye would be used to it and it would be difficult for you to be outdoors without wearing the shades. Secondly, you may be in a building and the lighting in the building, it's not natural light. It's sort of like dim. So your eyes and your pupils might be accustomed to being in that. And again, because it's dim, your pupils will be open. You go open a door and step outside and your pupils remain open. It doesn't close in too quickly enough. And so you got that bright light in your eye again, and it hurts your eye. So what I used to do when I worked in corporate and in office, that happened to me. So indoor, like most of the day. And if I step out on the lunchtime, I recognize that as I step out, that light would hit my eye and the head with pain. So what I would do as I step out, I have my eyes closed and I would squinch it, open it, open it, open it, little bit, little bit, little bit, and gradually open my eye so the pupil recognizes what's happening and it contracts. It closes in a bit. So you don't get the headache if I dare step out with the pupils open, head pain. All right. But what I began to do once I recognized that was happening is to open up the blinds. So as I opened up the blinds, I was seated near a window and I would get all the natural light in. And that was helpful. So similarly, if you're in the home, you open up the blinds, get the natural light in your spacing at all times, and then you have no problem. And then reduce your wearing of shades, and you certainly would eliminate that. Okay, so common causes and triggers, some more. Low blood sugar, your blood sugar runs too low, it can cause your head to pain, constipation, and toxicity of the blood, allergies, time of the year, or just that you have this heightened sensitivity to certain things in your environment. Again, allergies, eye strain, and eye stress, and brain tumors. So when to seek urgent care if your symptoms is such severe, say you have a fever, remember infection can be a cause too, and cancer, HIV, and you get an extreme head pain, something may be wrong because it might now have spread, say a cancer, have spread to the brain, and you don't know. Neurological defects, confusion, and seizures that might trigger, along with a head pain, or even if these things happen on their own, then onset sudden and severe worst headache of your life. And so if you got anything like that, don't take it for granted. Don't just sit in. Sometimes people might get blackouts and so forth, and then a pain first, and then something happens. Go to the emergency room. If you're over 50, years of age, and this is strange for you, and then papilledema, where you may have some swelling to the back of the eye, that can cause headaches. If you have a headache that's frequent during pregnancy or postpartum, certainly go and have a check and see what's happening. All right, so let's address the root causes. We are going to address the root cause for disease, because disease is an effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from a violation of these health laws. And so we are looking at pure air, sunlight, abstemiousness or temperance, rest, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, trust in divine power. These are the true remedies. So as we think about utilizing air as a remedy, take some deep breaths, get some oxygen going up to the head, and that can help you to relax, help you to de-stress, help you to reduce tension. And so deep breathing relaxes even the muscles of the neck and the shoulders. You want to practice 6 to 10 slow diaphragmatic breaths every hour. If you sat up straight and you took those deep breaths, or you were standing and you took the deep breaths in, like inhale deeply for 10 seconds, hold for 10 seconds, and exhale for 12 counts, then you can literally, after about 4 or 5, feel that difference, feel that oxygen on the inside of you. And so you can practice that every hour. Take about 6 to 10 of those deep breaths. If you did too many, make sure you're sitting, because it can make you dizzy. So don't over pressure your body, just work gradually. Aim for outdoor time every day, away from smoke and pollution, just in the fresh, open air. Sunlight is also important, and getting that daytime light can help to set your circadian rhythm, to help you to improve sleep. If sleep might be something far from you, you have insomnia, so you want to get more sunlight exposure daily. You want to so individuals, if you find that they have sensitivity to light because they may be on medication, or whatever, they may be getting migraines due to this light sensitivity. Maybe they have a situation going on with their eye and the pupils is not contracting well. Then you may need to use sunglasses if going out in the sun is your trigger. And but aim to get 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight daily. The darker you are, the more sunlight you need, like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. The lighter complected you are, the less sunlight you need, about 7.5 to 15 minutes, when between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. You want to get that direct sunlight on you. Again, you're looking at some healing and restorative therapies here. Rest is important, because that might be your trigger, not getting enough sleep. 7 to 8, 9 hours at night is the goal. You want to go to bed by 10 p.m. And oversleeping can also be a trigger. So let's watch no oversleeping get up in the morning, have sense of purpose. And sleep with your window open can be another way of getting oxygen while you rest and helping you to have better quality of sleep, getting more oxygen to the brain. Because when you're resting, you tend to take deeper, slower breaths, and getting that fresh air is helpful. Temperance, watch caffeine intake. They can be excess caffeine, alcohol, and ultra-processed foods because they're just not healthy to the body, and they tend to be quite stimulating to your nervous system. They also bring in, and especially the ultra-processed food, a lot of preservatives and additives to that. Then medication, watch the use of medication, not overdosing, and or sometimes skipping your meds might create some other issue. And avoid overeating. We want to reduce stress by carefully planning our activities so that you're not hustling all the time. Sort of manage yourself, your space, your commitments, so that you are not going to be stressed and be able to prevent these headaches from. So take breaks during the day. Take breaks every day. Take breaks on weekends, doing something different on a weekend. Every week, make sure you find some time where you have a break, maybe some time off. And every month, every quarter, and have a time where you change your environment, you de-stress, you get a break, and that can help you manage through life. One of the things that we want to pay attention to is that you can have a headache, you can have headaches repeatedly, but then you're in pain all the time. So being temperate and reducing stress is hugely important. Work towards making those opportunities to reduce them, and getting regular breaks can help. Physical activity, and so moving, you got that blood circulating, it energizes you and helps you to deal with your day and deal with any stressors that come your way. You would have the energy to handle it, and it may not impact you as much. So regular aerobic and even strength-bearing exercises tend to reduce migraine. And you want to aim for at least 150 minutes per week. That's like 30 minutes a day by 5 days. And to get that physical activity in, include neck mobility, so movements of your neck, because to help reduce that tension, and even posture. Pay attention to your posture. Even pay attention to how you sit, but how you walk upright and how you lay in your bed. So does your bed, is it comfortable? Is it too soft, like Goldilocks? Is it too soft or too hard? It need to be just right, because the extremes can put some pressure points on certain parts of your body and give you a headache. So all of those are things to consider. Our nutrition, a whole food plant-based diet tends to keep the body more healthy and provide different types of nutrients that we need. Nutrient deficiencies could be a trigger for headaches. Some people, if their blood count is low, so they're not making adequate blood, if their red blood cells are low, and so the foods that we eat can help to improve that. So having a variety of foods within a day, within a week, and then just eating a healthy diet. Plant foods tend to be best for you. Remember, we talked about different types of things like nitrates, or even tyramine that might be triggered and exist in animal foods. Dairy, that might be a trigger. So keeping on a plant diet can help. Get greens, berries, legumes, so you're getting your vitamin C, you're getting your phytonutrients, you're keeping a healthier body, you're getting all of those nice blood building components, minerals, and vitamins and so forth, magnesium, quite calming, that you can get in your pumpkin seeds, your sunflower seeds. So when you eat those foods of grains, fruits, nuts, vegetables, legumes, seeds, they help to give the body adequate nutrition and to help improve anywhere you may be having deficiencies, nutritional deficiencies, and reduce your headaches. I remember when I was growing up, I had headaches. Maybe it was hormonal, um, with me all the time, but they would come. But now I really don't recall having headaches. I don't get them. And it's because life is different. All right. Water, we mentioned this earlier, but of course, drinking water in the morning, hydration. So just take a bolus of 2 to 4 glasses of water early morning before breakfast when you wake up. And then during the course of the day, drinking water mouthfuls at a time. Look at your urine as an indicator. If it's too yellow or funny color looking, it may be that you are dehydrated. So get some more water. You want it pale yellow to clear. And trusting in God, it's by a way of reducing stress. Faith, prayer, and faith will do what no power on earth can accomplish. Yeah, so we don't need to go through life alone. Appreciating God every day, recognizing Him as King of Kings and Lord of Lords of your life, and giving Him His rightful position in your heart, in your mind, and depending on Him literally to take you through the day. Okay, so natural remedies, some more. So what about if you had a vascular headache? Here where your blood vessels open up, it comes on. So you may be wondering, and then you start to think, oh, I slept with my head tied last night. That can cause you to have a headache the following day. And so what would have happened? Too much blood pooling around in the brain. Blood vessels could have been dilated because of the heat, the warmth. So you can get some dandelion, burdock root, and red and yellow duck root, and 3 tablespoons of dandelion root, 2 tablespoons of burdock root, 1 tablespoon of yellow duck root. You will take all of those, add it to 16 cups of hot boiling water. Turn the heat down low. Simmer it for 15 minutes. Cover, switch it off, cover, let it draw for 4 hours. And then you drink 1/4 of 1/4 cup. But with that 1/4 of a cup, you can add 1/4 of a teaspoon of skullcap or valerian, which are calming, and add that to it, mix it, and to your tea, and drink it every 30 minutes until the symptoms subside. This is a one remedy that can be utilized. What about a tension headache? Poop, that it changes with your activity level. It just escalates. And so if the headache comes on during sedentary activity, you're doing nothing. While you're doing nothing, you're sitting or at your computer, you're driving, the headache comes on. Working at your computer, sitting in a meeting, take breaks to do something more active. You could be pacing the floor. Like today, I was talking to someone on the phone and I was walking, and then I got another call and I was walking up and down, and I am sure I got about at least 30 minutes of walking just by being on a phone call. I had it on speaker and I was walking up and down. So make sure different ways of getting your activity. Take a brisk walk, a jog, or some other form of vigorous activity to shake the body up and get that headache off you. What about a migraine? This can also be used for tension headaches. Now, upon first symptoms of a migraine, you may know you have migraine headache. It's repeated. Niacinamide, it's a form of vitamin B3, and you're going to take 300 milligrams in a day, okay? And you can, if it comes in lower doses, you just break that up through the day. Vitamin B6, 200 milligrams per day. Routine, 200 milligrams per day. And vitamin C or emergency, 2,000 milligrams twice a day. So you want to get a lot of vitamin C in, and some of these items that will help for the brain, the routine for the brain, the vitamin B6 for your nervous system, and calming niacinamide, quite calming to your nervous system. And that can help to relieve the migraine. And now you've got to do it as soon as you feel the symptoms coming on. Some people have gotten success with drinking caffeine, some caffeinated beverage, or even coffee, like about 2 cups of coffee. That tends to dilate the contracted blood vessels and give them a relief. So it's used here as a medicine, but seek not to depend upon it. And let's seek to see what might be your trigger for a migraine, be it something that you eat or, not eating on time. What is triggering your migraine? Not getting enough sleep, just, tension in the head. What's triggering your migraine? Maybe it's gluten sensitivity, sunlight deficiency. So find the root cause, and address the problem. But if you did the coffee and that worked for you, and you combine that with vitamin C, 2,000 milligrams, then that can help. Don't go repeating cups of coffee in a day. It would only work if it's helpful to you and you've tested that. So headache tea, this is another combination here. You're looking at lemon balm. It's quite calming. So 2 tablespoons of lemon balm, 1 tablespoon of feverfew. Pregnant women should not use feverfew. But feverfew is excellent for even migraines. And then 1 tablespoon of lavender, quite calming again. So you want to combine the herbs and add that now to about 8 cups of water, hot boiling water. This time you're not going to steep it, but you simply just switch the stove off, cover, and let it draw for 3 hours. And then you pour out 1/4 of a cup, and you drink that every 30 minutes until your headache is gone. Okay, so you can make this tea. And certain supplements, we have mentioned niacinamide, see to 100 milligrams to use it 3 times a day. But magnesium oxide and or magnesium citrate, you're looking to get 400 to 600 milligram daily for prevention of headaches, just keeping your nervous system calm. When in a migraine situation, and even for most headaches, it's the communication with the nerves that has gone bad in the head for whatever reason, and what might be causing that dysfunction of communication of the nervous system in the brain. So if you use things that are quite calming, giving the nervous system a chance not to be firing off, but just calmly connecting, then it helps to reduce the brain. And that's why a nice shoulder massage, it's calming, it's relaxing, it helps and relieve the headache. Or that tension that you're feeling in the shoulder that might be causing the head pain. Your nice massages helps. CoQ10 have been found to be also helpful when utilized. and 100 milligrams 2 to 3 times daily. It's used intensively here for the head pain. Once the head pain goes away, you're okay to stop this amount. You may be using CoQ10 for better muscular function, and heart function. That would just be 100 milligram alone per day. Okay. And melatonin, 3 milligrams at bedtime. That is if you have insomnia problems sleeping, you can use melatonin. Peppermint oil can be applied topically. So literally, you could, if you have the essential peppermint oil, it's quite concentrated. You've got to mix it with a carrier oil like olive oil or coconut oil, and then just rub your temples in a circular motion, slowly, slowly. I also like frankincense. I didn't put that in. Frankincense oil. It's not always available, and it's a little bit more pricey, but if you do have frankincense oil, that has helped a lot. What I would do, I just rub it on my hairline of my forehead, and that just calms down the head. It may not even be a headache, but I've had times where a lot of brain work and you feel that tension in your brain. It's not a headache, but just that the brain feels tight. And I would take the frankincense oil and just rub it along my hairline and the forehead. And that just calms everything down. It actually helps to improve brain drainage in the night while you sleep and calm your head down. During the day with much activity, your brain tends to be working quite a lot, and frankincense could calm things down. Okay, hydrotherapy for headache relief. You can do a foot bath with a cold compress to the head. So a foot bath using lavender oil. And so lavender oil is quite calming. You want to put your feet into some hot water. Now you got to mix the hot and the cold room temperature water and get that nice and comfy, warm, really feeling good warm on your feet. Put your toe, your big toe, test it, make sure it's comfortable. If you have diabetes, this is something not to do because you may not be able to tell hot is too hot and you can burn your foot or feet. So you want to be, if you can, and you don't have diabetes, you can do the hot foot bath. And so you place your feet in the hot water, gradually work that water way up to a nice, comfortable heat. And you leave it there for 15 to 20 minutes. You will need to add some more hot periodically to keep the temperature up. In that water, you can drop some lavender essential oil drops in there and just soak your feet, and that would be helpful. While you're soaking your feet, you can take a rag and just place it on your forehead. It's going to be cold, ice cold, wring it out, dry, no dripping water. Put it on your forehead. That's going to be quite soothing. Have you ever had a pain and you just put a cold rag on your forehead and maybe over your eye, if the back of your eye was hurting you? That can be calming. And talking about the eye, sometimes for the onset with an infection or a fever coming on, or if you have a fever, the back of your eye tend to be painful. So this also helps with soothing that head. And once you've soaked your feet and it's finished, you just pour some cold water over your feet to close the pores off. And then you dry it and you would be good. You can also follow with drinking a tea, or whilst you have your feet in there soaking, if you have a tea made with chamomile, feverfew, and skullcap, and that can be helpful as well. A contrast shower, it also works and for your neck and your shoulders. And so this is getting into the shower. 3 minutes hot, turn the faucet to cold, 30 seconds cold. And repeat that for 3 to 5 cycles and always end with cold. And then you take a rest, or just dry your body up nicely and lay down. Calm, quiet, calm, quiet. What is happening there? You're going to get your blood just moving away from the congested area that's causing the head pain and get out and relieve your headache. Okay, but you gotta lay down calm for at least 10 to 15 minutes afterward for the body to adjust itself. This is a fomentation to the neck and upper back. And so you want to apply hot, moist packs through a towel. And I'll show you what that looks like. No, we're out of time. So I need to stop sharing my screen. And okay, let me pin me to be bigger. Right. So say you have a towel and it's nice like this. And then you have a bigger towel and you want to have it big, fold in half, and then you would do it like this. So you get it come in, right? So this is your big towel. But your little one needs to be hot. You get your little one really hot. And how do you heat it up? You can literally have a pot with hot water and you drop it in and then you wring it on the ends. You wring all the water out. Or you can wet this, wring the water out and put it in a plastic bag and in your microwave for about 5 to 6 minutes. So you've got this hot, hot, hot. Then you literally, as you would have folded your towel, sort of place this on the inside of the towel. So this is hot. You place it on the inside, you fold one way and you fold like an envelope. And now it's hot and you can put that on the back of your neck. On the back of your neck. It could feel so cool. So comfortable and relieving. So that's one way in which you can do that. Or down on your spine. That's one. And then you also have like a hot water bottle. And this can be, you put hot water in here. Yeah. So you put hot water in there and make sure you tighten, close it in tight, and then it's hot. Usually it's a rubber. This one has fabric over it already. But if it is rubber, you can't not put the hot rubber on your skin just like that. So you can just like wrap it in a towel or a pillowcase, and then you apply it on your shoulder or to the neck and give the relief. So that heat now is going to draw blood down from your head to wherever you have it and help to relieve that head pain. Okay. So let's just go back quickly here. So those are two ways. And here's a daily routine for you. So we mentioned in the morning, you wake up and you hydrate yourself. We're drinking water. And then you have your devotion. While you have your devotion, you're singing, you're expressing gratitude and praise unto the Lord, and you're drinking your water. You next want to have your plant-based breakfast and make sure in the morning hours you get your daily exposure to the sunlight. Any teas you have to drink, you're going to drink that in between the breakfast and the lunch meal. So you drink your teas away from your food at least 2 hours after you've eaten. Stop eating, then you can have your teas. If in the midday time, it's 12 o'clock, you have your meal. Eat your food unhurriedly. You don't want to eat too fast. You may not consume enough. Like sometimes I dish food out for my mom and she would say, all of that food. And I would say, yeah, you can do it. Just sit down, relax, stop thinking about anything, and just take your time and eat. I would tell her that every time. And as she follows in the instruction, she will eat all and she'd be good. and she'd be full till her next meal time, which is what I want, so that she wouldn't look to grab anything in between the meals. All right, so take your time when you eat. Again, you're looking for nourishment. You want to be calm, keep calm. You can have a 10-minute digestive walk. And let's practice our deep breathing for the 6 to 10 minutes of deep breathing daily. And during the day, you want to drink your water mouthfuls at a time. Make sure to keep hydrated. In the afternoon hours, you can have more physical activity, sort of do some neck work, stretching your neck. Stretches can also help stretching your muscles, because sometimes you have a lot of tight muscles, again, from poor posture, and that can cause the head pain. You want, if you're having a third meal, a supper meal, something very light, and then you have your wind down routine, and put yourself under a curfew. No media, no gadgets with lights as you get ready for sleep at least an hour before bedtime. No conversations that would keep your mind busy and prevent you from going to sleep on time. Let's have devotion, prayer, get to bed by 9 to 10 p.m. So again, if you have a new severe headache, head pain, throbbing that feels more than a headache, seek medical attention. Review your supplements with your clinician. If it is that you're pregnant, this is a caution for all that we have said. All these teas, make sure it doesn't interact with your medication or pregnancy. And then watch for medication overuse or overdosing. Some of our references: International Headache Society. That's a big website with lots of resources in it that has been quite helpful to provide some of the information we used here today. And then there's the American Migraine Foundation and American Headache Society that has a lot of resources and tips that can be of benefit to you for further study and seeking out to get information, especially if you're one prone to getting migraines. Our recipe for the week, we are looking at what could help support the nervous system. And here you have the garbanzo beans. It also has great fiber, which can reduce and prevent constipation. So the garbanzo beans, we're gonna make a chickpea stew. And so you have 1 or 2 cups of chard, you have some vegetables. If you don't have chard, it's okay. You can use pak choy. You can, we have leeks. If you don't have that, you can use another vegetable or leave it out. Cabbage, 1 carrot, 1 celery stalk, onion, and your garlic to go in there, 2 garlic cloves. You can use more garlic cloves, and 2 teaspoons of the pink Himalayan sea salt. So you have this, you want to soak your bean overnight, or if you're doing cooking with a slow cooker, you can put your bean in and you can add your seasonings. I like to do that. So by morning, it's all done and ready, seasoned, cooked, tasty. But if not, you can soak your beans overnight. Then you peel, wash, and chop your vegetables, have them there the next morning. Then you start building in your pot. We'll put some water, put some onion, your garlic, your salt, let that cover, simmer down. And then you add your peas to it. Make sure it has enough water in it to cook. And you cover that, cook it for about an hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half. Once you see it starts breaking up with your spoon, as you put some pressure to break it, you then add your you can vegetables if you're making a stew, right? So you're adding the vegetables in the pot, and then you allow it to cook. I like to take a knife and poke my vegetables to make sure the knife can go through. Then I know that they're cooked well, especially with the celery. So I chop it up small. In that way, it can cook quicker. Our scripture text for today, Philippians 1:8. For God is my record, how greatly I long after you in the bowels of Christ. And another one. Oh my, it didn't come here. This was last week. But Christ's healing reaches the innermost parts. We can depend him. Retreat coming up October 5th. And hope that the session today has been of benefit to you. And I didn't see any questions come in while we were talking, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand on mute or place a question in the chat. Okay. Uh, all right. So if no questions, this is how you can reach us, 724-4898 or 1-868-367-3165. And there you can, yeah. Okay, is it local or foreign celery? The celery stalks, that's what I'm looking at. It has great minimal nutrient content, but the local celery that's smaller are excellent just the same. So you can use those if you have them planted, if you purchase them in the market, definitely add that. Yeah, just add that to your food. It's quite flavorful and rich in nutrients. Okay.
Can you juice the celeries?
If you choose the celery, yes, you can. The big stalk one, you can. That's cleansing for the blood. I like to think when I'm having it, it's a green drink. It's blood cleansing. Remember, one of the causes showed up as toxicity and an acidic body. So you find the celery, the carrots, they are alkalizing in nature. Yeah, so you can do drinks. Okay, I see another question. Caffeine was something to stay away from. Yeah, it is. So but then again, it's recommended here for its medicinal purposes. There are other herbs. There's another one that may have some caffeine. Green tea might have it as well, and that might work for people. So I'm not saying to use, that's a last resort, okay? It's a last resort. Suppose you're somewhere and it's for migraine type. You're somewhere and you don't have access to getting something that could be helpful for you, but you find you have a tension headache, you have a migraine headache, and you need to open up those blood vessels, then you have that to use the caffeine, the coffee as a medicinal item. I've known individuals who would have issues with vomiting, and they would take a black drink, even a black cola drink, and drink that, and it would help to stop the vomiting. So it's for a last resort use. I wouldn't say to go for it every time, but it does help, and it's an FYI to know in case of need, emergency, what you can do. Okay. Right, so do we have any more questions? If not, I hope the information has been helpful to you. For those who indicated that they have had headaches, and if sometime in the future a headache comes, you can address it. Is frankincense easy to get? Not not readily. You may need to look in a health shop, for and ask them if they do have frankincense. But whenever you see, grab a bottle and make sure it is an essential oil for the skin and not something to sweeten the room. But if you're here in Trinidad, check Mustafa on Henry Street. They have a shop there that sells a lot of essential oils, and they have frankincense oil. They sell it when in stock. They do. And that one is safe. You can use topically. Yeah. So just up Frederick Street between Duke and Park Street. If you're going up, it's on your right-hand side. Following the pathway is a one-way street for the cars, so it's on your right-hand side. They don't open on a Friday. They're Muslims. But Monday to Thursday, they open maybe from about 10 a.m. Okay. So the leeks, is it in powder form? No, leeks, it's a green vegetable. So, yep, it's a green vegetable. If in your society you have access to leeks, then you know it. Not everywhere would have it. In the US, you can find it quite easily. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for your questions, for your attendance, for your participation. And we do look forward to meeting with you. Let's have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we want to give you thanks for this day, and we thank you for the uh, remedies that you've provided, reminding us of simple things that can be helpful. May it be beneficial to anyone who needs relief from that head pain. And as they pay attention, take a log and observe from cause to effect, that they would be easily able to remove that reoccurrence of head pain, and their body can be feel well and happy. Be with us now until we meet again. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.